Coming up on today's video, I'm going to give you some players to watch, some previews, and storylines to pay attention to for NFL Week 3 around the New Orleans Saints versus Green Bay Packers game. But before we get to that, guys, I want to encourage you to subscribe and join our live watch party on Sunday. We will be live 30 minutes ahead of kickoff, so be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications to join us right here on this channel so we can watch the Saints kick the Packers' ass once again. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. Don't miss out. It's going to be a blast. All right, so let's get into who to watch for. I got 5 players, like I mentioned off the top of the video. First one's going to be Kendre Miller. He's a full participant. He's ready to go. The injury report came out around New Orleans, and he's a full participant. He's healthy. The hamstring issue last weekend, which kept him out, was more of a precautionary thing to allow Kendre Miller to get fully healthy before returning to the field. And I do believe that he will help out the running back situation. As we know, Jamal Williams will be missing for a few weeks. Tony Jones Jr., shout out to him. He stepped up big time last week with 2 touchdowns on the ground. Could have had 3 because he could have had a third in the air. But it's all right. It be like that. The Saints still got the dub. But Kendre Miller, 3rd-round draft pick for the Saints. I think he's going to be a big-time boost. And if you remember what happened whenever he played against the Chargers, had that beautiful diving catch, Pete Carmichael might utilize him a little bit more in the pass game. So show some love to the rookie because it's good vibes only here on Saints Now by Chat Sports. Type 25, his jersey number down below. Before we get into the next guy, I just want you guys to show some love to the rookie. All right, so let's talk about Carl Granderson because, man, he is having himself a year. Y'all, when I talk about Carl Granderson, I remember sitting here whenever we were going through the draft process being like, the Saints got to address the defensive end area. You know, I don't know if I believe in Carl Granderson. He's good, but he hasn't shown he can be great. But I'm fully prepared to admit I was wrong. I will, bite the bullet on this one. I am happy to admit that I messed up and had a bad take there because Carl Granderson, let me tell you what, he is earning himself a paycheck this offseason. In 2 games, he has 2.5 sacks. He had 1.5 in week 1. He had a sack last week, 5 tackles, 6 quarterback hits, 1 forced fumble. The dude is continuing to make play after play after play. And here's the other thing. What's crazy about the defensive ends that you have in New Orleans? You got Carl Granderson, you got Cameron Jordan. One is a guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer. One is really, really finding himself some juice here in the NFL. They both have combined for the most combined pressures by a defensive line duo with 11 each. That is incredible numbers. I love to see the defensive line feasting. That is where you win the games, in the trenches, and I love to see that the defensive line for the Saints continues to win that battle. So I also want to talk about one of the big-time vets, Demario Davis. I'm a huge Demario Davis fan. I think that his story is incredible. I think that his philosophy, his outlook on life, everything is amazing, and he is such a strong leader. But not only is he a great guy to have in your team off the field, on the field, he is damn near the best linebacker in the league. Look at this right here. According to PFF, he's the 2nd highest graded linebacker behind the Buffalo Bills linebacker, Matt Milano. 89.7 versus 89.9. Are you freaking kidding me? 7 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a sack, a quarterback hit. Hasn't really put up any stats in terms of pass breakups or interceptions in coverage. However, Demario Davis is aging like a fine wine, continues to show he is a stud, and continues to prove that the Saints defense is not one to mess with. So let me know, Saints fans, are you impressed with your defense? The black and gold has been lights out. You are in a 10-game streak of allowing less than 20 points, or 20 points or less. That is something that the Dome Patrol didn't even do. So shout out to Dennis Allen. Shout out to the Saints defense because they have been playing lights out, especially these first 2 games of the 2023 season. All right, next thing I want to talk about is Derek Carr, and this is an obvious one. He's a QB1. You got to have success with your quarterback if you want to find success and wins. And I'm not going to lie, my take on it is I like what I've seen, but I don't love what I've seen. Week 1, 300 yards, a touchdown, an interception. Sure, that interception was stupid, but you still put up 300 yards. You still got points when it mattered. You still converted on plays late in the game when it meant the most. But in week 2, we saw Derek Carr do that pretty much again. A terribly stupid interception. I would love for him to find the pass or the end zone in the air more than just once this season. And I also want to see him carve it up a little bit earlier in the first half of the game because it took it to the second half of the Panthers game to really find his, groove and really make some big plays. And I'm not saying that that's when all the big plays happen, but I just want to see more from Derek Carr. The offense will take time. It's going to clean itself up over time. And if you expected them to click just right now, it's too many new pieces. It's week 3. Everyone relax. It's 17 games that you got to play. So relax. I think they're going to be fun. But hey, let's clean it up and let's clean it up quick. All right, my last player to watch for is Taysom Hill. And I really, really, really want to see Taysom Hill utilized more in the run game and in the pass game and in the catching game. I want to see him used more in the offense as a whole because I think that Taysom Hill is one of the most unique players that you can have on your roster in the NFL. Please let him run the ball. Please let him just manage the field. I love that Pete Carmichael gave him the option to throw the ball or run the ball on multiple plays. Sure, he passed only once, but hey, that shows defenses, hey, he's not just going to run the ball. He's also going to potentially throw the ball too. So you got to play back a little bit. You can't play right up in front. That allows the run to be more successful and then play up. Maybe you can air it out. That allows the pass. You see what I'm saying? You're setting up the run. You're setting up the pass just with one player. I want to see Taysom Hill utilized more. And if you want to see Taysom Hill play in person, let me tell you about our awesome new sponsor here, Game Time. Because if you download the Game Time app and you use the code SaintsChat, you get $20 off. And buying tickets to your favorite events, whether it's sports games, comedy shows, theater, music, whatever it is, it shouldn't be stressful. And with killer deals on last-minute tickets, the best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun that you'll have. So I had a personal story with going to a Saints game last year, and I didn't get to use Game Time, but man, I wish I did. But you know where I did use Game Time? I went and took my girlfriend out to a concert just last week. And the money that I saved, I had $20 in savings just on my tickets. So I used that to buy us both a beer. And hey, it's a free beer. You go to a game, think about it as free, 2 hot dogs, whatever you want to do. But if you use the app, the user interface is so friendly as well. You can literally see your point of view from your seats. And that is one of my favorite things about it. It's user friendly. You can look at the schedule. You can see exactly where your seats are. I mean, look at this. Row 612 in section 625 is less than $50 for the Buccaneers at Saints. So guys, I encourage you to download the Game Time app, create an account, use code SaintsChat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code SaintsChat for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, so big storylines to talk about that I want to focus in on for week 3 is the health of the running backs. Now, obviously, Alvin Kamara, this is the last week that he will be suspended. Jamal Williams, he's going to be out for a few weeks. So the depth chart, Kendre Miller, Tony Jones Jr., Adam Prentice. That's what you got. That's all you're running with right now. So, Kendre, man, I hope you have a good game. I hope you're ready to go. Tony Jones Jr., we saw him perform well last week, but this is where I'm saying you could utilize Taysom Hill in the run game a little bit more. The team is clearly not panicked. Dennis Allen has even said they're not panicked. They're not going to really make any moves here because I think that they have a good running back core, and you only have one more week left without your running back one, who, by the way, looked incredible in the preseason and incredible in training camp. So shout out to Tony Jones Jr. too, because he was signed to the active roster. I mean, after a 2-touchdown performance like he had in week 2, you could tell that there are some teams that maybe had some running back issues. Maybe they wanted to go and potentially poach him off of the practice squad. So Saints are going to keep him around. I think it's a smart move, especially considering the only healthy running back other than Jones you have on your roster is Kendre Miller, who's coming off of a hamstring injury as well. So I also want to talk about the offensive line because Derek Carr has been sacked 8 times this season so far, which is 7th most among the NFL through week 2. And I will say this, I think that the offensive line did look a little bit better in week 2. You can tell that there's progression and that there's, development with Trevor Penning. But, James Hurst, he didn't look too great. You gotta Cesar Ruiz, he's kind of on and off. I mean, you just paid him big time. Like, you got to play up to that contract, man. And I really think that they did improve, but they got to show more of that, and they got to show it quicker, because how fast or how many more times can we get Derek Carr to get sacked before there's an injury? How many more times can the offensive line just let the defensive line come through and just blow up Alvin Kamara or Jamal Williams or Kendre Miller or whoever it is? Like, there's no way around it. The offensive line just has to play better, especially if you want to win a lot of games deep into the season. I mean, we're only in week 2, and he's been sacked 8 times. Unacceptable. So don't jinx it. Help me out. If you want the offensive line to play better, hit that thumbs up icon and like today's video. Maybe the Saints will see it. Maybe the offensive line will see it. Maybe Eric McCoy will be like scrolling through his phone and be like, oh, I saw this really cool YouTube video. It had like 10,000 likes because Saints fans want us to play better, so we're going to play better. Be the man who helps the Saints play better. Help us out. Like this video and don't jinx it. All right, I also want to see Derek Carr light up the scoreboard. The Packers defense, don't get me wrong, they have some talented players, but I think that this could be a week for the Saints to really light it up on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, we haven't gotten to really see a showcase. We've gotten to see some big plays here and some big plays there and a couple, really nice drives that didn't end up in touchdowns or that just resulted in a punt or a field goal. But this could be the chance to really light things up, to show the NFL, hey, this team is ready to win. They are ready to light up the scoreboard. They are not, a pushover. They are a team that will win, and they will win by a lot. These first 2 weeks were just a fluke because it's early in the season. So let's light it up on the scoreboard. Let's score some damn points, and I want to see this offense kick it into high gear and firing across all cylinders. And then the defense, biggest storyline, man, stay freaking hot. Guys, the Saints defense is playing out of their minds right now. They are one of 3 teams in the NFL. It's Dallas, New Orleans, and Cleveland to only allow 1 touchdown this season. That is unbelievable. I mean, I truly do think that the Saints defense could, by the end of the season, be the best defense in the league. I hate to say it, the Cowboys just lost Trayvon Diggs due to an ACL tear, so that's really going to hurt their defensive, production. I think that that's going to hurt how strong of a unit they are. Saints, you have the opportunity to light this season up. Go take advantage of a strong defense and take that offense and put them together, make a nice little sandwich, and go win a damn Super Bowl. This defense is special. They have a ton of great players. Across the board, they have highly graded PFF players. And, man, I just can't sit here and say enough how awesome this defense is. So stay hot, and let's keep it moving. And if this defense stays hot, we'll get to see Jordan Love versus a great and a very talented defense. And Jordan Love, I'm going to give him some credit. I mean, he's actually played pretty well this season. When you look at the stats, you got to pressure the young quarterback if you want to win. Because when you give him some time, he can do some damage. 29 for 52, 396 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions on the season, and a passer rating of 118.8. So you got to pressure the young quarterback. The defensive 4, the front 4, get after him. Carl Granderson, Carl Granderson, Colin Saunders, Nathan Shepard, Cameron Jordan, eat. But then the flight crew, Marshon Lattimore, Paulson Adebo, Alontae Taylor, you got to dominate. The Saints defense will also be without Marcus May as he's serving a suspension. So Jordan Howden, you're the next man up. I hope you're ready to go because you're going to be playing alongside the Honey Badger and these 3 studs that you see on your screen. And I want to see this defense absolutely take this kid's lunch money. I want to see him take his girlfriend out to dinner. I want to see him bring the girlfriend home late. And I want to see him absolutely dominate all game long. So let me know, Saints fans, who you got. Type S for Saints, type P for Packers. And don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and join us live on Sunday for our Saints vs. Packers watch party. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you on Sunday.